Cha-ching!
Hey guys, thanks for watching. When it comes to fiberglass, everyone has a good buddy whose third step cousin has been doing fiberglass one way or another for 50 years. Now I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just here today to share my personal thoughts on fiberglass tools after years of trial and error. Okay, first up we have your classic chip brush or resin brush. Then we have a plastic spreader or applicator. And last, we have these small, low-nap resin or paint rollers. No matter what tool I use to wet out the fiberglass, I always follow it up with a fiberglass roller or a bubble buster. I'll be using some 6-ounce fiberglass cloth and a scrap piece of plywood for the demonstration today. First up are fiberglass or chip brushes. They are the basic cheap paint brushes available at any big box store. These have been used forever and are still a go-to for many guys doing glasswork. They are great for small and tight areas or oddly shaped spaces. The downsides are that you have to be careful or you can distort the weave of the cloth with too much pressure. And using a brush can often lead to uneven or resin-rich applications. When hand laminating fiberglass, the closer you can get to a 50-50 ratio of fiberglass and resin, the stronger the end results will be. Next up is a flexible plastic spreader or applicator. These come in different shapes and sizes and are reusable once cleaned. These work really well if you have to lay down a large amount of resin on a mostly horizontal surface very quickly. You typically dump the resin on the fiberglass and work it in with the spreader. Like the brushes, you need to be careful not to distort the weave of the cloth with too much pressure. After you've wetted out the fiberglass, you can use the plastic spreader to help squeegee out some of the excess resin. It may not be perfect, but this gets you closer to the desired ratio. The downside is, it makes this tool the messiest of the three. Once rolled out, it looks pretty clean, and you can easily see the weave pattern of the cloth. When you are done, you can clearly see that the ratio is much closer to what you want because you have removed much of the excess resin. The closer you get to that ideal ratio, the less brittle your fiberglass will be. Last up are these smaller paint or resin rollers. If you shop around, you can find them as cheap as $1 each. These work great on most projects and typically won't distort the weave of your fiberglass much. They can apply resin fairly quickly and cleanly. I usually pair them with a small paint tray for the resin. This helps keep my waste to a minimum. You can find them in various sizes, but I tend to like the smaller ones. The benefit of the roller is it almost automatically moves resin well from areas that are too wet to areas that are dry, basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. The results are super clean and the ratio is almost always on point. This is by far my favorite tool to use for wetting out fiberglass. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.
Cha-ching!